Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my life in America living as a Bosnian-American. I appreciate you guys watching and subscribing to the channel. Let's get right into it. Oh man, so where do I start? I guess from when I was really little. We came here in 1998. I was a baby and my parents came here with 2 or 3 bags in their hand, and that was it. We got sponsored here by my uncle. He brought us here, and from there it was a fresh start to a new life. It wasn't easy in the beginning. I remember back when we just got here, my dad bought a car to get to work, obviously, and I don't know, it wasn't too long we were living here until our car got stolen right in front of our house, our apartment actually, that we lived in. And he was like so shocked, he couldn't believe it. And even hearing him talk about it in today's day and age is crazy to think, like, you just move here and you get your car stolen. But anyways, we go on, right? Lots of things have happened, and a lot of different traditions, values, and the way people live is very different here than how we live back home, right? Growing up, you were met with a lot of adversity, challenges, and different situations that you've never experienced before back home, especially for my parents. They didn't know English. They had to find new jobs, and they had to, learn their surroundings. They had to figure out how to live again, essentially, because you're living in a whole different country for the first time in your life, and so it wasn't easy. So for me, growing up, it was nice. Obviously you're young and you don't know anything. You're just living day to day, but your parents are struggling, but you don't know that because they're so young. They took great care of me, and they did the best they could for me, for the life they could provide for me at that time. And I'm grateful because without that struggle, maybe I wouldn't be the person I am today, right? So going to school in America was obviously different. First of all, the teachers would pronounce your name wrong every single time, and I don't blame them. They're met with a new kid from Bosnia, and they have to try to pronounce the kid's name right off the rip, but it just wasn't happening. I get it though. And it was a struggle, I'd say, because for my parents, they didn't understand the system, they didn't understand the school system, they didn't speak English, like I already mentioned before. And they just took me to school, brought me back home, and actually they would be working while I was at school and after school too. So it wasn't easy, but hey, it is what it is. That's the life we lived in. Again, without that struggle, you wouldn't appreciate the things you have today. So obviously American traditions are much different than Bosnian traditions, and we have our own traditions. So like whenever we go to someone else's house, we would be offered to drink some coffee. In America, Americans, I think they would go inside someone else's house with their shoes on. We, for example, we don't do that. We take our shoes off every single time before we enter someone's house. And we have our own celebration called Bayram, or in English you can say Eid. So that's where it's a celebration for 3 or 4 days, and it's really just visiting your relatives' houses. So you start from oldest to youngest. You start from your grandparents, go down to your cousins, so on and so forth, your friends, and you're just hanging out with them, eating a lot of food, eating a lot of sweets, eating a lot of pastries. Gaining some weight in the process, but that's okay. This is only twice a year, Bayram and Eid. So yeah, definitely a lot of different traditions, and a different way of living as opposed to how Americans live here in America. Totally different. Yeah, that was definitely a big shell shock. I remember trying to bring home like a friend, American kid, and my parents like, what's his name? Is he okay? Like, is he a bad guy? Is he a good guy? Be careful who you hang out with. I got it all. I understood it, but you're a kid and you just want to have fun with your friends, and you didn't really think about whether that kid was good or bad. But my parents thought differently, obviously, because they weren't used to other nationalities around them, because they were just around Bosnians back home. And then this is where I think we get caught between two cultures. So American life and Bosnian life. Bosnian life is much slower than the American life, whereas American life is much faster than the Bosnian life. Here, it was all just work, 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 pay the bills, get food on the table, and make sure our kids go to school and make sure they're safe and sound, right? This is where the cultures intertwine, and this is where it gets a little messy because back in Bosnia, we weren't used to working so much. I mean, yes, people work, but just not as much as I think they do here, at least the pace they do here, because here it's like nonstop, just go, go, go. Back home, it's like, you can work, relax, take a break, drink some coffee, eat a little snack, and then you can go back to work. Whereas here, it's like, you better get this done by this time. You better keep going. You better not stop. Oh, keep going, keep going, keep going. And back home, it's a whole different story, a whole different type of culture and just traditions. And yeah, it's totally different. Bosnian parents, they come with a really strong work ethic. Many of them working 2-3 jobs at a time. I know my parents both worked a job each, and it was not easy for them. I remember they worked long hours, and they'd be exhausted when they come home. They just want to sleep and lay down. But my mom, she would not do that. Actually, she would do the opposite. She would still make us food. She would still make us feel good, and she was really there for us when we needed her, despite being so tired after work and wanting to just crash and not do anything. I don't blame her, and I really do appreciate everything she did, as well as my dad. He was out there really hustling, really getting that paper, and that guy was a real go-getter. Like he would not stop. And he's the same today. Same kind of guy, same kind of hustle, same kind of attitude, same kind of a work ethic. So I appreciate both of my parents for what they did. So for as long as we've been living here, I think that a lot of old things get pushed to the side, like old traditions. For example, cooking pita from scratch, that may get pushed to the side because you just might not have time for it, or you're just tired from the work week. Also, Sunday family gatherings are a thing of the past, I would say. And then Bairam just becomes another day. It's not really celebrated as it used to be. But here where I live, we really do celebrate Bairam for what it is, and we really appreciate the holiday because we only have that holiday in our traditions. So after years and years of living in America, you really get accustomed to life here, and you grow up here. You're met with challenges, obstacles, success, and a lot of people have poured in here into America from Bosnia. I think it was from 1998 to around 2001 was the peak time when a lot of Bosnians were immigrating from Bosnia to America, and a lot of people have become successful. A lot of people have started businesses here. A lot of people have gone on to do great things in America, and we are definitely appreciative of that opportunity that we were given. Right, we had to earn everything that we worked for and that we wanted, and yeah, I think a lot of people are satisfied, but also I think they miss their home country a lot, especially the ones that came here that were older already to America. And yeah, I'm sure they miss it a lot, but I know they do go back like every summer, or at least every other summer. And yeah, that's how a majority of Bosnian Americans live. They live here and they go back for the summers, and some even move back permanently, which is great. That is a beautiful and great thing to do. As long as you know what you want in life, as long as you know the direction you're headed towards, that's an amazing thing. And yeah, we'll see if I ever do that. It'd be good. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. It would help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel so this is geared toward a larger audience and more people are seeing this. And yeah, hope you guys have a good one. See ya.